Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader, your guide to a higher and clearer perspective. I've got a guided message for Aquarius today. This is a channeled message from Spirit from the other side. And I'm asking for awareness messages this week. What is it that we really need to be made aware of so that we're moving forward correctly on our path? So let's see what the cards have to say for you. Interesting, Aquarius. We start with a huge card. We don't do small things if we're in Aquarius, right? We're starting with the rebirth card. This is the ending of a huge cycle and the beginning of a new that allows you to emerge even more authentically than ever. So this is a card of true honesty. This is a card of true depth. So if there's anything that you are aware of, that you are still holding on to, that's no longer serving you, this is the moment of judgment. This is kingdom come. You know, in other decks, this is the judgment card where we separate out what is good from what is bad, what is effective from what is not effective. But there's no mamby-pambying. You don't get to say, well, I'd kind of like to hold on to this because it's kind of comfortable, but I still want to go move forward. This is like cut, like this is absolute, either yes or no. There's no maybes with this card. So anything that you're kind of holding on to that you're a little bit maybe about, it's a yes or a no. So, you know, that's the bluntness of this card. We have next the Seven of Wands. So I feel like some of that, some of sorting out the wheat from the chaff, or the honesty, that's coming at a little bit of resistance. So there are still things you're fighting, still things that you're not sure if it's like you've gotten the correct. Let me see if I can put this in a very succinct way. You know the direction you're supposed to go, but you're still fighting yourself about it. And you're not sure exactly if you want to drop it right now, but this card is coming up to say, you know, it's time. It's really time to drop it now. Nine of Swords, Three of Cups. And this is quintessential, but what will they think of me? What will other people say? What will they think? What will they, who, you know, will they like me anymore? Will they accept me anymore if I do this? That's why you're having trouble dropping it. You know, who will you be? But not just who will you be accepted? Will the other people still like you? You're not sure. So that's interesting. Let's stop with that. And one more card, Princess of Swords. Okay, this is why we're going back and forth. Princess of Swords I see as very mentally sharp, but also fickle. She changes her mind a lot. She can't really decide, should she stay with this idea, that idea. So you know what's being asked, you know the direction that you're being asked to go, because you know what works for you, what doesn't, what sabotages you and what doesn't. Even if you have no outside help, you know what behavior works for you and what doesn't. But there's a big fear that you're going to be cast out of the community, that you're not going to be accepted, and that there's going to be no place for you if you cast those things out. So, you know, a lot of this is dropping responsibility for things that aren't yours, taking responsibility for the way other people feel, taking responsibility for the way other people think. Those kind of things are what you're being asked to drop. In this process of being completely honest and authentic with yourself, it's scary, I understand. But these cards are encouraging you to consider that if you are holding part of yourself back, if you're keeping some of that old self or that dysfunctional self with you, in order to be accepted, are those the right people? And is that the right intention with which to engage with them? You know, if these are the right people for you, if these are your people, why would you want to bring some of that false self with you to them? Why would you want to share some of your false self with them? That only holds them a little bit at bay. And she's kind of, you know, when I see her with one of the Knight cards, especially the Knight of Cups, she kind of plays with him. She teases him a little bit, saying, yeah, come closer, but not really. Come closer, but not really. And what it does is it keeps her protected. So she feels desired because he's coming after her, but then when she steps back, she doesn't actually have to give any of herself. And that's what I feel is happening here. You're saying to yourself, well, I'm afraid to be true. I'm afraid to be myself. I'm afraid to step out as who I really am because I won't be accepted, because they'll reject me. But that's not true. You're actually afraid to step out because they might accept you, and then you'll have to keep showing up in that powerful, authentic self. And that's scarier than them rejecting you. It's really funny, isn't it? Like, it's the opposite of what we thought. So the real question is, are you ready for that authentic relationship with yourself? And if you are, does anyone else deserve any less than the beauty of your true authentic self? That's your question. Do you or anyone else deserve any less than the beauty of your authentic self? So big question, big week, Aquarius. Questions about that, please let me know. And I always love to hear from you in the comments. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing or hitting that like button. Also invite you to check out my website, True Guidance Tarot. There's some interesting offerings on there if you're looking for one-on-one guidance. A lot of really lovely stuff. So I look forward to seeing you next time, and have a great week.